Simply, Busy Ant Maths is a comprehensive mathematics course to ensure the complete coverage of the 2014 primary mathematics curriculum. The Teacher's Guide is the core component along with Collins Connect, the interactive website. These two components are the driving force in Busy Ant Maths. The Teacher's Guide comprises of the following elements. There's a bank of getting started activities, warm-up activities for the beginning part of the lesson, first part of the lesson. There's then, which constitutes the bulk of the Teacher's Guide, a set of 12 units, teaching and learning units. And these units consist of unit overviews, which gives a précis, a synopsis of the unit, a bank of lesson plans, and a bank of learning activities. Each of the 12 units is designed to last 3 weeks. There's also a set of resource sheets which are used for particular lessons and also for the learning activities, and there's answers. As well as the Teacher's Guide, the other core component is Collins Connect, which is the home of all the digital resources. So these include a powerful and easy to use planning tool, which allows teachers and schools to customise the scope and sequence of the teaching and learning units suggested in Busy Ant Maths, so they can adapt that for individual classes, but also across year groups. There's also editable short-term weekly planning grids, which link directly with the teaching and learning components in Busy Ant Maths. There's assistance on organising pupil groupings for both the teacher and classroom assistants. There's an assessment tool for diagnostic, formative and summative assessments, along with useful, manageable and meaningful record-keeping formats that's useful for all, useful for teachers, useful for school managers and useful for parents. There are interactive teaching tools for use on the whiteboard, as well as a bank of informative and entertaining images for whole class discussions as a springboard for discussions to introducing a topic with children. Also on Collins Connect, there's flexible interactive whiteboard teaching tools to help teachers introduce mathematical concepts, as well as a bank of informative and entertaining images to really springboard discussions with children. There are also interactive paired and individual pupil games directed really at the fundamentals of maths about addition, subtraction and multiplication, division, getting sure that children have got those facts under their belt. There's resources for parents, including editable newsletters that teachers can adapt and distribute to parents at the start of each of the 12 3-week units. There's also the Busy Ant Maths calculations policy, which schools who buy into Collins Connect are free to adapt and use and publish as part of their school's calculations policy. And finally, on Collins Connect, there are continuing professional development guidance. There are also 3 pupil books in every year group in Busy Ant Maths. All pupil books have exercises that reinforce and build upon the main teaching points and objectives of a particular lesson in the Teacher's Guide. The work is intended to allow all pupils in the class to practice and consolidate their newly acquired knowledge, skills and understanding. In Key Stage 2, Years 3 to 6, each pupil book includes 3 levels of differentiated work. In addition to the pupil books, there's a progress guide, and these progress guide comprises of sheets providing support for the less able pupils who perhaps require additional practice and consolidation of the prerequisites, or just simply work at a simpler level so that they can then access the work in the pupil books. There are also extension sheets which are provided for children who are more able, children who need more challenging work. These resources have been carefully written to provide a greater depth of understanding and also involve children more into the use and application of maths and to solve problems and reason mathematically. All the material on the progress guide, if schools buy into Collins Connect, also have those electronically to use. As well as the progress guide, there's a homework guide, and these are exercises that reinforce work that's been learnt in maths lessons. Each sheet offers exercises based on the same 3 levels of differentiation that's been used in the pupil book. And in addition, each sheet has at the bottom of the sheet a shared activity specifically designed to be undertaken collaboratively at home by a child and an adult. One of the most important features of the new scheme is the assessment guide. Now that we're entering an era without levels and schools have to decide how to best assess and keep records for themselves, The assessment guide offers guidance for both assessment for learning and assessment of learning. The assessment guides consist of a bank of assessment tasks and sheets, which can be used for diagnostic, formative and summative assessments. There are also useful and manageable record-keeping formats, which schools can use in conjunction with the assessment tool on Collins Connect to really analyse data on a class level, but also on a whole school level. Also included in the assessment guide for each year group will be 12 assessment tests. These tests will be linked to each of the 12 units, and they'll assess the attainment targets that have been taught during each of those 3-week periods.